Welcome back to the second half of our city, and joining me for the second half is Dave Strojak. Dave's the director of the Elizabeth Avenue Partnership, and along with him is Bossa Brazil, a performer at the EAP market. Say your first name? Mauricio de Sousa.
Right.
All right. Dave, how's everything going down at the Elizabeth Avenue Partnership right now?
Oh, it's great, Alonzo. Thanks for having me again on the show. I know we had a couple guests here a few weeks ago for a farmer's market.
Right.
We're in about our 14th week of our farmer's market, and we had a very active summer. We had a coloring contest, we had events down there.
Right.
The farmers are doing really well. We have a pickle guy, a peanut guy,
Right.
so we're doing well down there.
So this is the first year for the pickle guy, gourmet pickle.
Yes,
guy.
Paul's Gourmet Pickles, and he's having a good summer.
All right. And one other thing you added besides the pickles was there was another item you added this year.
Well, he has olives. He has
Olives.
olives. He has 13 different varieties of olives. He has stuffed olives. He has garlic olives.
And just in case anyone's not aware of it, this is every Tuesday, right?
Yes, every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Union Square Plaza on High Street. And we're there for another 14 weeks. We're there till November 29th. So the harvest is in full swing now. The Jersey corn is still running. The Jersey tomatoes are full. And it's now coming on apple season. So the apples and the peaches and soon the fall harvest of cabbage, broccoli, onions, all the good stuff now leading in.
Now, as we begin to start the celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, EAP is going to join in with us also, am I correct?
Yes. Well, we celebrate. We've been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
So we have our Hispanic Heritage Month lunchtime concert series, where we do it is every Tuesday between, Hispanic Heritage Month nationally is celebrated between September 15th and October 15th. So we do it every Tuesday between that time, starting on September 20th, the 27th, October 4th, and October 11th, from 12 to 2 at the farmers market site with cultural music, and including one of our performers here today, Mauricio.
Now, Mauricio,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about yourself. What instrument do you play, or do you play more than one instrument?
I'm mostly a drummer. That's basically
Okay.
what I do. And I was born and raised in Brazil. And I came to the U.S. about, I was telling David, about 13 and a half years ago. And basically I came up to, continue my studies in music and play jazz. And being New York such a, huge center for jazz in the whole planet. So I figured the closer it could be to New York, the better. So.
Now, you say you're a drummer. You're a percussionist, or what do you classify yourself?
Drummer. Sometimes there's a little confusion. Like drummer normally is a guy who plays the drum set.
Right.
Percussionist, normally he plays all sorts of different percussion instruments like congas and
Right. So you're strictly to the drum set?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's mainly what I do. Yeah.
And how did you get into music?
I come from a musical family, so my dad used to be a bass player, so he always played music at home and in the car. And eventually, got interested in guitar, but I was kind of little at the time. I was like 7 years old. And then by the time I was 11, I got interested in drums and began taking lessons. And I actually started out as a rock drummer because I'm from Brasilia in Brazil, and it's mostly a rock city, rock music kind of scene down there. And a lot of rock groups come out of Brasilia, but
Brazilian rock?
Yeah. So, but eventually, I began to get interested in jazz and classical music, so I went to the other spectrum of,
Now, what is Bossa Brazil's approach to Brazilian music?
Basically, we mix a few different styles of Brazilian music with jazz. So, it includes bossa nova and samba, baião, sometimes like chorinho. So there are different kinds of Brazilian music that we play in more of with a jazz flavor. And
So as of this date and this moment, what has been your most memorable performance or your most memorable experience?
the performances for Teatro C are really interesting because they pick really unique venues for us to perform in. For example, like we did a few gigs at some galleries, and art galleries, and it's such an interesting setting, and the audience is always that they're there just for the music, so it's nice to play like that, And another one was we recently did the Sounds of the City in Newark at NJPAC, so that was quite an experience also.
Now, in addition to you, the drummer, who else is in the band? How many other pieces?
It varies. It depends on the venue and depends on the the gig and everything. But mostly I do trio gigs, sometimes quartet, quintet, and the instruments normally drums and bass are the basic ones, and then I'll add a piano or a vibraphone with a guitar sometimes, a saxophone. So it, I try to break it up too, bring in different musicians and all.
And just one more, how did you get involved with the Elizabeth Avenue Partnership for Hispanic Heritage Month celebration?
This was through Teatro C. Patrick Cruz, like he's the, he's the person in charge of the organization, and also so he promotes all these events and has the connections, and also so it'd be great to be in Elizabeth. It'd be a
Can you tell him Teatro C? Who is Teatro C? What they do?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a non-profit organization, and they're basically they support the arts. They promote musical events and theatrical events, and dance. Like dance is also part of their programs, and basically they just search for venues or events like this, like to get people exposed to the Latin American culture and Hispanic culture and everything. So it's great to have an organization like that out there. So.
And Dave, how frequent or how often are these concerts going to take place?
We'll have the schedule right here.
Okay.
On September 20th is our first one, between 12 and 2, like I said, and we have a great band called Yancala. And they do sounds of the Caribbean, bachata, bolera, salsa. They're very lively, a lot of fun. On September 27th, the next Tuesday, we have Trio Cristal, which is a Latin jazz guitar trio. They've performed for several years on the Avenue, and they really do a great job. October 4th, the next Tuesday, we have Yas Cortez. It's an Argentinian couple. They're a duo. They're a husband and wife team that they do Latin American music, popular tango, some boleros, and flamenco. And then in our final grand finale act, we have Mauricio in Bosa, Brazil, to be the grand finale act. We usually saved our best for last. And the reason I asked him about Teatro C is because I just wanted him to explain who they were. We were saying we've worked with them for about 10 years also, and they have given us tremendous acts. Even last year, we had free tango lessons on the square provided by Teatro C. And one of our most popular is the flamenco dancers.
Right.
But this year we're going in a different direction. We're doing more performance-based acts.
Now this is the 10th anniversary of the EAP's Hispanic Heritage. Anything special, or you just covered it?
Yeah, I just covered it. And Mauricio is going to be our grand finale act. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the Hispanic Heritage Month is sponsored by a Heart Grant, and we get that from the Division of Cultural and Heritage Affairs over at the county. And it's Heart Grant means history, education, and arts reaching thousands, and it's from the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders. So we receive a $2,400 grant to bring in these performers, and we match it with some EAP funds for these events.
Now, without getting too deep into it, the visual enhancement plan, how's that coming along?
Wow, you jumped from music to... no, this is great. This could be a whole other show, but I just wanted to let you know and let some of the viewers know that we hired a consultant, Community Insights, to do a visual enhancement plan, and it's a very intense study. They literally do curb to cornice, which means a study from the curb to the whole, whole existing storefront. 326 businesses, 43 blocks of business-to-business comprehensive study, giving us suggestions. Do they need a new sign? Is there too much signage in the windows? And then it's our job as the EAP to go ahead and put together a letter and work with the businesses to put forth these suggestions.
Okay. Now, Mauricio, what other kind of events do you participate in to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month?
Well, we perform at some festivals, as I mentioned, like the NJPAC. And even when I played at NJPAC, they brought like 2 different Brazilian groups. They had another group from Brazil, directly from Brazil, also performing that same night. So mostly festivals and special performances that provide that kind of entertainment and everything. So.
And the type of music you play, you classify it as what? Would it be salsa, merengue, jazz?
Would be basically a Brazilian jazz. As I explained before, we mix different styles of Brazilian music.
And that's up tempo, or?
Yeah. We break it up. We do some more up tempo things. We do more like lyrical tunes also. You know, I try to keep it varied. So.
And what dance would match that? Would it be merengue, salsa, or?
Well, it would be like bossa nova or samba. You know.
Okay.
Those kind of, you know. So yeah, if people want to dance, they're more than welcome to. You know.
Maybe give a lesson.
Yeah. Sure.
And you take a lot of drummer solos there, or?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, being the leader of the group, you know, I have a couple of features and everything.
So anytime you want, if you're the leader, you just take the solo, you know, drummer, and just.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to overdo it. You know? I'm not that dictatorial, you know.
Okay.
Very modest.
I see it. Yeah. Now, Dave, over the 10 years that you've been over at the Elizabeth Avenue Partnership, what are some of the most proud moments there?
One of the things that we're really proud of, and what came from one of our market studies, is that we have, when the fella came and did this study, he noticed that Elizabeth Avenue has one of the highest concentrations of pedestrian traffic flow and also vehicular traffic flow in the state. His study also told us that we have a 4% vacancy rate. So that means, you know, 4% of our businesses are, you know, vacant, which is tremendous. There are downtowns across the state that are doing everything in their power to bring people down to their downtowns, to put stores into the storefronts.
Right.
We don't have that problem, and I'm proud that we were able to create a fertile ground at the EAP through a very intensive clean and safe program, beautification efforts, where businesses feel safe and they feel confident to conduct business in our district, and that's what I'm very proud of that, and I think that we're only going to get better.
Good. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
And once again, the concerts start when?
The concerts start on September 20th, and they run every Tuesday. We also, I wanted to mention real quick, we have a Columbus Day concert on the 11th, October 11th, in the evening. We're going to have a local fella, John Scapani, doing some Italian-American music.
Some Sinatra?
Yeah, he's going to do some
Scapani?
Sinatra, and we have Dr. Munoz, the singing doctor, and he's going to sing one night during the Hispanic Heritage Month. So we have a few other things lined up also.
I will not miss Shapani doing Sinatra for anything. And a number where they can contact you.
908-965-0660. But more importantly, go onto our website, www.elizabethavenue.org, or like us on Facebook, Elizabeth Avenue The Market. Social media is very important now, and we're broadcasting all of our events, putting up our photos. We'll have a YouTube video up. So basically, go on the Elizabeth Ave The Market Facebook page, and that'll link you to the city and Mauricio's page and Elizabeth Speaks and Avenue Al, a lot of the other things that we have going on.
And after you like Dave, make sure you go to City of Elizabeth NJ and like that page also, and get some of the up-to-the-minute information on the City of Elizabeth, different events happening. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming out.
Thank you
very much.
And I'll see you down at the Elizabeth Avenue Festival.
That sounds great.
You better come down.
I will be there. Thanks for tuning in this segment of Our City. Have a safe and wonderful week. Thank you.